Hey crew, it's Pitt, and I'm back with today's Timeless Tarot. Today is Tuesday, the 15th of July, 2025, but this is a timeless reading, so when it finds you is when you were meant to find it. It is, however, a collective reading, so it is not for everybody who happens to find it. If it is not for you, take it and leave it in the spirit in which it was given, with love. We're going to be pulling 8 cards from the feminine deck to see what the current energies are. We will be pulling 8 cards from the masculine deck so that we can see what actions we may take in order to manifest our highest timeline in accordance with spirit. I'm having trouble with this, but in accordance with spirit. We give it a couple of quick shuffles. I've already done a pre-meditation and a pre-shuffle, but just to make sure that the energies are exactly where they need to be, we give it a couple of goes and we will pull, beginning with the base. With the base, we have the 8 of Wands. Let me put my glasses on so I can actually see what I'm doing here. All right, that is the 8 of Wands. In the sacral, we have the Knight of Cups. In the solar plexus, we have the 9 of Pentacles. In the heart, we have the 9 of Swords in reverse. In the throat, we have the 10 of Wands. In the third eye, we have the Justice card. And in the crown, what is this? That is the 10 of Pentacles. This is a lot more positive energy. And rounding out the bottom with the feminine, we have the 9 of Wands. Now we're going to do the same thing with the masculine deck so that we can get an idea of what decisions we can make, what actions we can take in order to more fully manifest our highest timeline in accordance with spirit on whom we serve. And so let's see what spirit has to tell us today. Beginning with the crown, we have the 2 of Swords. In the third eye, we have the Knight of Cups. In the throat, we have the Ace of Swords. In the heart, we have the Moon. In the solar plexus, we have the 8 of Cups. In the sacral, we have the Devil in reverse. In the base, we have the 10 of Wands. And rounding out our reading at the bottom with the divine message from the masculine is the 2 of Wands. Well, all right, let's dive in and see what we've got going on today. All right, we begin in the base. This is base existence. This is merely being around. This is your home. This is your work. This is all of the base existence things. And for you, we have today the 8 of Wands. The 8 of Wands is about realizing that there is a higher path. 7 is the culmination of the lower path. 8 is the beginning of the higher path. We see movement in this card. If you look, these are 8 wands being thrown into the future. And so there is a choice. Well, you're learning that there is a choice. You're not quite making that choice yet. This is for the second path. Now, clarifying that, we have the 10 of Wands, right? This is the 9, or this is the 8. You have the idea that there is this thing. The 10 is representing learning about, right? This is the new path. The 10 of Wands, both of these represent change. Wands are spirit, fire, change, light, logos. All of that is a representation, is represented by wands. And so we have a lot of change coming in, right? This is fast change on a new path. You have something to learn about it, but you're not quite sure what it is. If it's standing upright, you are gathering all of the knowledge, all of the change, and carrying it home. When it is in the reverse, you're not. You are resisting. You are not comprehending. There is some key that you are missing to a greater understanding of this change. So let's see what we got in the sacral. Now, the sacral is the area that governs lust and chastity, but it is also about what you want to manifest in your life. It is about your physical desires. If you want to start a new business, if you want to get a new home, the things that you want in the physical plane. Now, you have the Knight of Cups. Cups is body spirit. It is about emotions. It is about relationships, right? We have the Knight. That means that there needs to be movement. The Knight is challenges. You have to rise to meet the challenge of the emotion, right? This is a slow moving energy. You see the horse's head is down. He's not charging. They're slowly, progressively plodding through, doing what they need to do to take the correct emotional steps. Now, there is change here. There is you needing to take a step in the emotional level. That is clarified by the devil. Now, the devil, when he is standing up tall, is about resisting temptation or not. It is about the very real temptations. This can represent sexual energy. Doesn't necessarily have to. This is the 15th, so this is realizing the third highest path, right? This is the entirely spiritual path. The first path is the body. The second path is the emotions. The third path is the intellect, the spiritual, what you were thinking about. This is the beginning of the third path, which you are kind of resisting. You have an idea, you are resisting that idea, but it kind of needs you to take some action with these emotions. This can be a relationship with a person. It can be new. It doesn't necessarily have to be, but there needs to be some progression with this person in order to fully realize this. The solar plexus is where we feed ourselves. It is quite literally where our food turns into energy. It governs gluttony and temperance. And for you, we have the Four of Pentacles. The Four of Pentacles is about really understanding the earthly choices and just about to undertake the challenges thereof, right? You've overcome the journeyman learning stage. You are in the understanding stage about the earthly things. This is job, house, the things dealing with the mortal coil. This is the understanding of, you can see he's got one above him, two under his feet that he still needs to work on, and one that he is working on. He knows how to do it. Clarifying that with the steps that we can take is going to be taking a new path in the emotional level, right? We have the Eight of Cups. Now, there are 8 cups here. They are empty. He is leaving them. He has already emptied the first path's cups, and now he is looking for the new path. Hey, wait, there's something else going on. This is, again, cups. Cups is body, spirit, and water. It is emotions. It is interpersonal relationships. So once again, we see something having to do with a relationship that we need to take some action on. We are aware that this is there. We need to figure out what to do about it. That's going to bring us into the heart. Now, the heart is going to govern your area of greed and charity. You might hold on to things a little bit too much. You might release things a little bit too much. There's supposed to be a balance there. This is where you meld together the as below and the as above trinity so that you can manifest. And in order for you to do so, we have the Nine of Swords in reverse. Now, swords is soul, air, intellect, thoughts, thoughts, and intellectual change as opposed to just general change. The 9 standing tall is the PTSD card. That's what I call it. This is the card of regrets. You are making the choice. 9 represents the choice in the same way that 2 represents the choice. You are making the choice about the thoughts, and it's not that bad, right? Standing upright, you have already won all of these swords, right? You have one sword underneath you. It's giving you some restless nights because you have spent so much time in combat. That's what this is. It's the PTSD card. But for you, you're kind of satisfied with that victory, right? You are victorious over most of the things about the idea. There is maybe still one thing that you need to meditate upon it, but it's not as negative, right? If it was standing up tall, that represents some more of a challenge, but like this, it's more of a you're okay with how that went, and clarifying that with some actions that we can take is the Moon. Now, the Moon is a very interesting card. We have the 2 towers here represented. That is light and dark. You are supposed to walk between them and not cleave to either side. We have also represented the wild and the domestic side of humanity. We have the new path being undertaken by the crawfish here. He's coming out of the water, his comfort zone. He is walking with balance between the more animal and the more domesticated, and the light and the dark sides of him, seeking the Moon. And so you need to start stepping out, right? You have the idea, you're satisfied with the idea. It's time to start putting it into action. If you want to fully achieve the things that you want in your life, you have to put it into action. And we are also looking at a 13, which is going to be the nurture card, right? This is the equivalent of a queen or the 6th. This is where you really, like, you've faced the challenge. Now you're overcoming the challenge. The challenge was this PTSD, this hesitance that you had over these victories. Now you don't have that. Now you need to seek that out, but you need to do it in a nurturative manner, not really attacking, as much as taking what is coming to you and putting it to the best use that you possibly can. Next, we're going to get into the as above trinity. This is representing the more spiritual side of things, right? This is the base existence. This is the more spiritual side. The throat is where you communicate. It is going to be the center of pride and humility. So you might be a little bit prideful about something. You might be not quite prideful enough about something. This is where you need to communicate. And we have justice. Justice is quite literally about justice. This is 6, so it is an overcoming and a growth, right? You had the challenge, you're now overcoming the challenge. You had a challenge, you're overcoming the challenge. There was a challenge, or there is a challenge. You need to resist a little bit to overcome the challenge. Right? You got quite a bit of challenge here, but it's mostly in a personal growth level. It doesn't appear to be things attacking you as much as you need to realize for yourself. Justice is about equilibrium. It is about equal opportunity under the law, right? Nobody is preferred. Everybody gets equal treatment. That is this, right? And clarifying that with the steps that you need to take is another Knight of Cups. We just talked about the Knight of Cups. Body, water, spirit, body, spirit, water, emotions, personal relationships. Maybe there is some justice and some fair play that you need to communicate about this. You're taking action. It is slow, deliberate, methodical action with the full understanding of the other person's considerations, right? In a just manner. You are making steps forward. You need to continue making these steps forward. We have 2 Knight of Cups here, right? We have one here and one here. Both of them are telling you the same thing. This one is action that you can take. This one is what is already going on. This is on the base level. This is on the spiritual level. So you need to get your mind in alignment with your body. Next up, we have the third eye. The third eye has to do with you seeing forward into your future. This is about sloth and diligence. So you may not be putting into action some things. You may be putting a little bit too much action into some things. What do we have? We've got another 10 of Wands, but this one, it's not obverse. This one is standing up. You've gathered all of the change. You are walking here. If you are in accordance, right? If you are taking the consideration for this relationship, overcoming this temptation to not and to do, right? If you're taking the steps and the actions, then there you've got your ideas under control. You have the way to enact your ideas. You're not quite doing it down here on the base level, but you've got it up here. You've got it on the spiritual level. You know what the idea needs to be. Maybe you need to be a little more diligent in it. Let's see. What is the clarification? This is the Ace of Swords. What is the swords? The swords is soul, air, intellect, thought. You have a thought. This is the one. There's a path. Oh my God. Look, a path. It is a brand new idea. This is something maybe hasn't been seen somewhere else before. It might just be new for you, but you have to put it into action. If you don't take these steps from the 10, right? If you don't take this and put this into action, nothing is going to happen. You have to be diligent about this. You cannot be slothful. You cannot just let it happen on its own. You have to enact, right? You recognize the path, start taking the steps. That's going to bring us to the crown. Now, the crown is where you interpret what you hear from the divine, right? This is the divine over here talking to us. This is how we interpret that. And we have the 10 of Pentacles. Now, this is saying that the plan is for you to have some abundance, right? The Ten of Pentacles is really about abundance. It is the learning of the new path on the earthly plane. It is a 10, so it is learning the new path. It is a pentacle. It is the earthly plane, body. It is about your home, about your work. It seems like this idea is something that will bring you some financial benefit if you can put it into play in the manner in which it should be done. You can see on this card the happiness. This is about generations, generational wealth, preparing for the future, right? He has him and his wife, right? There are children in here you really can't tell. There's a dog. There's a tower in a town back over there. They're walking through the arch, going into the town, achieving all of the things. The 10 is really about the fulfillment. It is a completion, but it's also, hey, in order to prepare for this generational wealth, for this preparing for the future, then I really have some steps that I need to take. And clarifying that with what steps you need to take, we have the Two of Swords. Once again, an idea. This time, you have to make a choice about it, right? Hey, look, there's a choice. Here it is. Get to it. Put it into work. This is you interpreting directly from the divine. I've got to make a choice about this idea. If I want to work on it diligently, it will reward me with everything. But if I am slothful in it, this sword is going to cut me, right? This is a yes or a no. It is blindly taken. You should be taking an informed decision. Of course, this is swords. It's about thoughts. This is about your thoughts that you need to put into action. We see this repeated. And that's going to bring us to what the divine has to tell us today. Now, the divine is its own thing. It doesn't really have areas of responsibility. It's just coordinating this whole message. And we have the Nine of Wands. The Nine of Wands is a choice. It is spirit, fire, change. It is a choice about the change. It is a choice about the change. It is, hey, look, there's a choice you need to make about some change. There's some change. You think maybe you should work diligently towards it? You think maybe you should walk diligently towards this change? Something is changing in your life. You have an idea. It's a pretty good one. You need to put it into play. The 9 here is a lot like the 9 here, right? He is wounded. He's got a bandage around his head, but he has won all the stabs from everybody else. He is leaning upon it because he's been in combat. But instead of PTSD, this is victory well deserved. And clarifying that with some steps that we can take, we have the Two of Wands. Change, choice. Logos is here. Spirit and fire is telling you, make some choices. Make some choices. Make some choices. This is a choice card. This is a choice card. Both of them about change. If you truly endeavor to become the best version of yourself, to manifest your highest timeline, then you're going to have to take this chance. You're going to have to make these choices. If you don't make these choices, if you don't take these chances, it's not going to do you any good. Hopefully, I brought a little bit of enlightenment and not too much confusion to today's energies. If you like what I'm doing over here, let me know down below. Give me a like, a share, a follow. Throw me a comment. If you agree or disagree with anything that I said, put it in the box down below. And if it remains respectful, it gets to remain up. If you really like what I'm doing over here, hit me with that super thanks. Consider joining for a membership or picking up a copy of my book where I teach you to do magic responsibly. To the crew, thanks for hanging out. I appreciate every single minute that you are here with me, and I am praying for you every single day. Until next time, I love you. God loves you. You are perfect, whole, and complete just the way that you are. And this has been Pitt's Take. Peace.